Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give Kohalol, Yahweh, Bahashim, Hamashiach, Yahushua, for giving me the spirit and power to do this lesson, and for giving me the spirit and power to wake up another day to show forth repentance in these last days as we get closer and closer to Jacob's trouble. We need to be repentant, as says 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 18. We need to be growing in grace and repenting on a daily basis, showing forth your growth each and every day. You should not be the same as how you was last year around this time. You just shouldn't. No matter what we say, you should be growing in some area in your life. You should be getting rid of or building some kind of character, that you facing or that you need to grow in each day of your life. So what we're going to go over today, we're dealing with the title of this lesson, letting pain carve wisdom inside of us. Right? Letting pain carve wisdom inside of us. The first thing we think about when we think about pain is I'm not trying to go through that. Or if, like I think about myself, like I got to be thankful that the Lord chooses what he chooses for me, the lot he chose for me, because I know me, I wouldn't choose nothing too hard for myself. I would be picking and choosing, playing games with my own growth. And that's why the Most High God, he don't let us respond. It's either you're gonna go through it or not. Most of the time, you got to go through it regardless. But in the knowledge of the truth, it's like what you gonna do with it. What you gonna do with this pain that the Lord has brought your way. That's why a lot of the times the Most High tell you the Most High dealeth with you as with son. When he chastise you, the pain, we already know the pain, the suffering, the fire is supposed to mold you into something. Right. And that's why fire is used, because that's what fire does. It molds, right? It purifies. Right. The suffering ain't nothing to play with. That's just for sure. But at the end of the day, it makes us untouchable, right? Because you got all this XP and you feel like you done been through it all. Right. Like certain people, they let it break them. And certain people, they let it actually make them greater. And we hear it, we see it all the time, man. And a lot of the times, instead of fucking crying about things that we go through, we need to be asking the Most High God, what am I supposed to learn from this? And the Most High will show you. Yahweh Shah spoke about this too. He said, when persecution arises, it chokes the word out of you. Right? A lot of people, they can't deal with it. You see a lot of people on drugs that's homeless. It's because they couldn't deal with what the Most High God was putting them through. They couldn't take the fire. You know the term, can't take the fire, stay out the kitchen. The heat, stay out the kitchen. Right? But some people, man, they lose their legs. They'll lose their legs, and you will see on their journey, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and they'll be in the gym working on their upper body. Right? These are the people that they turn their suffering into strength, right? But some people, they make up excuses why they can't do it no more. And I didn't see people like that. They make up all kind of excuses. It's like, bro, you don't have excuses, bro. You don't have your legs anymore. Like, you have to do it this way. Straight up, right? Or the pain of the worst one, I would say, that we learn so much from is the pain of getting cheated on by a woman. Oh my God. That shit burns. And it burns worse, especially if she leave you, man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Everywhere you turn, something reminds you of her at a public place that you at, no matter what. It reminds you of her. Something y'all done did together, or you just your mind just can't help it, man. It's just your mind is flaming you up. Or you think she's at every function you at. Everywhere you turn around, you can't stop thinking about her. Most of the time, niggas don't even want to go outside. They don't even want to go nowhere. But when they do, take that step to get outside, start going outside, that's all they can think about is if she's going to be there, right? That's a burning feeling. That's the feeling of pain right there. And that's a lot of times, some men make it through that, and some men never bounce back from women. Man, I done met brothers. I know brothers And I'm talking about years later, their wife left them years ago, and they still talking about this same woman, how she left him. Hey, some women too, they do the same thing. They never recover from a man leaving them. Right. And it honestly, I seen it play out with my dad. Like my mom left my dad, like he never really recovered from that shit. Like he never recovered. Some men, they just weak like that, man. Some men is weak like that. And I've even had my fair share of a woman leaving me. You know, when you really in love with a woman and she leaves you, that shit breaks you. But at the same time, you should never be in love with nothing to the point where it'll break you and it'll cause you to fall in that manner. Only thing we should be in love with like that is the Most High God. And we all know this. The Most High God is the only one that we should be in love with like that. And that's just the truth, man. Because he'd never do us like that. How these women be doing us, how these men do us. He'd never do us like that. Right. Another thing too is some of the best music that we hear today, some of the greatest music that we hear today. Like let's deal with Tupac. Some of his greatest music, shit, he was writing that with pain. It was pain that he was speaking when he wrote that, when he even rapped it. The way he rapped it, how he rapped it, all of that, that's all happened through pain, man. He was going through a lot of pain, being shot, being portrayed, all of that. He went through a lot of pain. Right? And you got passive suffering, and then you got active suffering. So passive suffering is complaining, is when you like complaining and you giving up, you letting it weigh in on you. And ultimately you let it win. And that's what we look at when we see homeless people. They let it take over them to the point where they can't shake back because they start doing drugs, they start doing all kind of shit. But then you got active suffering. Active suffering is, you taking on the weight, and you understand that there's a purpose behind it. That's why I said earlier, it's best for you to ask, what am I supposed to learn from this than complaining and suffering? Because in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, it tells us, in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 10, for the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmuring is not hid. Therefore beware of murmurings, which is unprofitable. You see that? Murmuring is complaining. So the Bible is telling us, King Solomon is telling us with the Spirit of the Lord that complaining all the time is unprofitable. You're never going to, what is it going to do for you? It's not going to help you at all. Only thing it is a soother. That's all it is. It's like, your family dying and your whole entire family dying in a car crash, and you just keep drinking and drinking and drinking. It's just soothing you for the moment. You still got to deal with the reality of they're all gone. And I didn't want to think of that, but I didn't want to speak on that, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. So it says, for the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmuring is not hid. Therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting, for there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul. See that? So the murmuring, the scriptures tell you to beware of murmuring because it's unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting. Man, why the Most High going to do all that? Man, so you telling me, God, what kind of God to do this? Or what kind of, that's backbiting. You're talking to the Most High like he don't know what he's doing or something. He created us, but he don't know what he's doing. You can't create shit. You can't create nothing. Straight up. And it makes me think of Job chapter 40. When it comes to complaining, because that's what Job was doing. When you read the book of Job, Job was complaining a lot in the scriptures. Why am I going through that? It was better if I died in my mother's womb. It was better if this didn't happen. It was better if this didn't happen. And we all got our Job situation. And this is we read these scriptures for our understanding. So when we see him do this to our forefathers, there's no different with us. If we complaining, the Most High gonna check us the same way he checked Job. And this is what he said to Job. And he didn't answer him all the way to chapter 40. Job chapter 40 and verse 6. It says, then answered the Lord unto Job out of the whirlwind and said, gird up thy loins like a man. You see that? That's the first thing he said, man, pull up your pants, man. What you doing all this damn complaining for? He says, gird up thy loins like a man. I will demand of thee and declare thou unto me. What I'm about to ask you, I need answers for. Straight up. You asking me questions? No, I'm gonna ask you some questions. And then he goes on to say, wilt thou also disannul my judgment? Are you gonna stop me from doing what I want to do with you? Wilt thou condemn me that thou mayest be righteous? Are you gonna prove that I'm being wicked in what I did? Are you gonna prove me to be wicked? Straight up. And we know the answer for that. We ain't about to prove the Most High to be evil. They tell you that in Job chapter 13. The Most High God is righteous in all his works. Basically, what he's telling Job is, I mean, what you gonna do about it? You might as well just go through it because you can't stop it. You can't stop it at all. When you go back into the world, you still have to deal with that same thing. You still got to deal with it. So you might as well just go through it on the righteous side, on the right side. Then he says, hast thou an arm like God, or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Deck thyself now with majesty and excellency, and array thyself with glory and beauty. Right? And that's talking about his creation. That's talking about himself, of course, but his creation, nature, everything that we look at, the excellency and beauty that the Most High God created. He says, cast abroad the rage of thy wrath, and behold everyone that is proud and abase him. And we know we can't do that. We can't go around the world judging everybody, putting people that's prideful, putting them in a humble spirit. Only he can break people like that. And that's a fact. You got niggas out here, nigga, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. Ain't nobody gonna touch me. Hey, look at Esau. Esau out this mug like, ain't nobody gonna touch me. We ruling everything. We in control of everything, and ain't nobody gonna say no, ain't nobody gonna do shit. The Most High is the only one that's gonna be able to humble this man. The Most High. So it says, cast abroad thy rage, and behold everyone that is proud, and abase him. Look on everyone that is proud, and bring him low, and tread down the wicked in their place. And it keeps on going, but he's asking, this is the thing, these are the things that I do. You got all these questions. Can you do any of these things? Can you do any of these things? And now that I'm thinking about it, he did the same thing in the book of 2nd Esdras, where he says, call back yesterday. He says, measure me fire. He said, catch the wind, right? The same thing. Like, bro, basically, you not on my level. You're not on my level. My thoughts ain't your thoughts. A lot of the time, that's just, at the end of the day, a lot of the time, that's just what it is. So when the Most High put us through stuff, man, it's for your good. That's what it tell you in Romans. Let me get it. Romans chapter 8 and 28. Romans 8 and 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. See that? If you was called to his purpose, none of us knew this is where we was going to be. We had no idea about no truth. We thought what we was doing was the truth already. And it damn sure wasn't. And that's why he brought us into the knowledge of the truth, so we can see what the truth really is. We don't got the truth. He gave us the truth. Right? So going back, remember, active suffering. Active suffering was taking on the weight with purpose. Taking on that weight with purpose. And and accepting it in your life and letting it build you, man. That's the whole goal. Letting it build us up. Like I said, a lot of people let it destroy them. A lot of people let it break them. But a lot of people I've seen for myself, they grow stronger from what the pain and suffering that they had to go through. Straight up. And then I'm going to go back to Job right quick, because this is what Job said too. I got to give credit to Job for saying this. Job 13 and 15. Job 13 and 15, he says, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. But I will maintain my own ways before him. He also shall be my salvation, for an hypocrite shall not come before him. You see that? The point I'm getting, the meat I'm chewing off this bone is, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. Job understand the Most High God was doing what he was doing to him. The Most High God was the one putting him through that. And this is where Paul said, we are killed all the day long, right? In Romans chapter 8, I believe it is. He said, we are killed all the day long, but we are more than conquerors. That's what, that's because of the things that the Most High God put us through on a daily basis. And we better be learning from it, or you're just you're a dud, so to speak. You're just a dud. You know, a dud, like when you light a firecracker, that must say, shh, and nothing else happens. That's you, a dud. Or you can take these, you know, these trials, tribulations, atrocities, whatever it is you got to go through, and you know, you build on it. Because you ain't go through what Yahushua went through. You ain't know, he's the most perfect man that ever walked the earth, and he still got treated worse than all of us. Job was a perfect man according to God, but Job got treated worse than all of us. Those are some scary, those are scary times to be in, the time of Job and Yahushua, man. It's just nothing to play with at all, right? We gotta, you know, us today, we gotta prepare. We need years and years and years long training to be able to go through that, and we would have to have the complete understanding that this is the process of it, or we're gonna fold, we're gonna crack. That's just what it is, man. You can say whatever you want, right? You can say whatever you want, but this shit is real, man. We supposed to be taking this suffering because it's not going nowhere, bro. Suffering isn't going anywhere. So he said, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. We got to trust in the process. That's what we need to be doing as we're going through what we don't know where it's coming. We don't know why it's coming. We don't know what he want us to change, but you have to figure it out. That's why he gave you the wisdom. He didn't give you the wisdom to just shit on your brothers. He gave you that wisdom also so that you can learn in life what he wants you to do, your purpose. We all need to be growing in the grace that he gave us. That's why I always quote that 2 Peter chapter 3 and 18, because we have to be growing in grace. I came up with the conclusion. If you're not growing in grace, you are by default declining, because you're commanded to grow in grace. This is what we're supposed to be doing in this time period that we got. But we got to argue with Christians over this. Like, we ain't supposed to be doing nothing in this grace. They'll come argue with us, and then they'll go right back to this wicked ass lifestyle they live. And all they want to do is point out flaws that we're doing. See, you don't even know this. Or the Bible, you're not even following the Bible. Like, bro, damn, bro. So like, what, this is your whole objective? I mean, it's like Pharisees. Like, they call us Pharisees, but let's really examine what the Pharisees was doing. Them niggas was literally telling people to keep the law and wasn't. One second. Right? So with the Pharisees, the point is, the Pharisees was telling people, One second. All right, so like I said, the Pharisees, they was the point of the Pharisees is they was doing shit that they was telling you not to do and not doing shit that they telling you to do. That's the whole point. That's the whole point with the Pharisees, man. That's the whole point with them. And that's they say that that's us, but that's actually them, man. They the ones that play those kind of games, man. They don't want to pick and choose what they do. We say we got to keep everything. Everything that we can keep, we got to keep it. It's a lot, man. I'm dealing with something right now. All right, so let's keep going. So the next I want to go to from Job 13 and 15, where he says, though he slay me, so they slay me, uh, yet will I trust in him. Because that's how we're all supposed to be. And like I said, it goes into trusting in the process. Right? When you go into Mark chapter 4, Yahweh Shah explained that to us in Mark chapter 4. Mark chapter 4 and 16, he says, Mark 4 and 16, it says, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness and have no root in themselves. And so endure for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So a lot of the times, us being in the truth, we question if this is what the Most High God, because we all got our own custom made hell, and that's I thought about that a couple of years ago. I'd be like, man, we all got our own custom made hell. Like your hell ain't my hell ain't your hell. It's custom made specifically for you. And I came up with that term from Second Ezra chapter 7, I believe it is, where it talks about everybody gotta to get to the kingdom of heaven, everybody gotta cross this narrow path, and on one side it's a lake and the other side is a fire, a deep water and a fire, and only one man can pass through at one time. And that goes into, you got your own custom made hell. Can't nobody walk this path for you. Only you can. Only you can take the wisdom, knowledge, the advice, and the counsel from brothers and use it, man. Or you can take it and let it make you bitter. The choice is yours. But Yahweh Shah spoke about this also. Affliction and persecution comes, the word, it chokes the word out of you. It says you are offended. And the word offended means lose faith. But a lot of the times, bro, we don't know where this stuff coming from. We don't know if it's because of sins, and we don't know if it's because of chastisement. And that's why you got to be clear in your conscience about the decisions that you make, so you can be able to pinpoint it better. Right? A lot of us, man, just we're in chains of darkness. It's nothing you can do in its totality, man. But at the end of the day, we gotta clean it up the best way we know how. We gotta clean it up to the best of our ability. And that's just what it is, man. Right? And that helps you pinpoint suffering. That goes to Second Peter. I'm not gonna get it, but that's in Second Peter chapter 2, starting at 19. Talking about us suffering for conscience sake. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's good or bad. Right? But Yahushua spoke about this suffering too, man, that we all have to go through. Each and every last one of us have to go through this suffering. Even Yahushua had to go through the suffering. It tell you in Isaiah chapter 53. I'm not going to Isaiah 53. I'm going to Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 8. But in Isaiah 53, it tells you that it pleased God to bruise him. And this makes you think of Job. Man, when you put it all together, it gives you a perfect understanding. Hey, y'all trying to get right here? Eventually. Okay, not right now? No, I think you're okay right now. Okay. So, like I said, in Isaiah 53, it tell you it pleased the Most High God to bruise him. And that go, how much more us? We talking about a perfect, only begotten son. It pleased Yahweh to bruise him. That's just.
Is there any way we can get you to move? We're gonna set up some cranes right here.
Yeah, I just asked. All right, I got you.
Sorry, man.
Now you all good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, like I was saying, Isaiah 53, it tell you that it pleased the Most High to bruise Yahushua HaMashiach. So, how much more us, man? And when you read Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 8, it says, though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things that he suffered. So you think the Most High God ain't gonna put us through hell so that we can learn obedience too? You crazy if you think that ain't gonna happen. We need this suffering that we're going through. Right here too? Okay. We need this suffering that we're going through, believe it or not, man. And we get it. This shit don't feel good. And as a matter of fact, while I'm in Hebrews, when you go over to chapter 12, and a lot of people, like I say, are afraid of this chapter, but this chapter is the truth. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse, I'm going to start at 5. It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. You see that? It says, despise not the chastening of the Lord. The things that he put you through, don't be getting mad and upset and angry about the shit. Ask him, what do I need to learn from this? What do I need to learn from this? Because like I said, man, this suffering that we all go through, it can be, it can be the unbreakable power. It can be unbreakable power if you use it in the right way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that makes them unique, today that you look at, people you look at powerful, is because of the shit that they went through, man. It's because of the suffering that they went through, right? And a lot of times you can see it on people. You can see it on people. Some people, like, you can just see it on people. Let me say that. Let me go back to the scripture. So it says, it says, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. We cannot be faint. What does it tell you in Sirach chapter 2? Woe unto you that are faint-hearted, for ye believe if not, therefore shall ye not be defended. So we need to be putting all our trust in the Most High, trusting in the process that the Most High got for us, not our own process. Meaning if it's something you're going through and you feel like it's too heavy for you, you give up. We trusting in our powers process. He know what's best for us. He know what we need to change. He know what's target. And that's why another term I came up with, and because we Hebrew Israelites, this is what we do. It tell you wise man hears stuff and he add into it. Sometimes we create our own things. We create our own slogans. We are the creators, man. That's what we do. We create shit. I created a slogan. We save souls, not image. And I used to put that on a lot of my posts that I used to have on the channel. We save souls, not image. And I think it's a perfect thing, because a lot of people, they would be embarrassed by the things that they go through, right? And they will try to save their image instead of trying to save their soul and try to learn from the situation that they're going through. And we see it happens all the time. All these brothers that's mighty, that's been in the truth for 15 plus years, you know what I'm saying? You can clearly tell they're trying to save their image, and they losing their soul, the spirit, more and more and more, because they're trying to save their image instead of trying to save their soul. Whatever it is that he went through, he or she should have used that and benefited. Yeah, it might be bad. You might not carry the same rank, all of that, but bro, that's fuck all of that. That's why Yahweh said was highly esteemed upon with man is an abomination inside of the Lord. If you did something, you got to bear the punishment of it, even if that's losing your rank. But the point is not giving up. The point is growing and learning from it. And we see a lot of brothers fall victim to that. A lot of brothers, they fall because they want to save their image more importantly than their soul. They want to save their image. And we see it all the time, but I'm going to keep going. It says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourges every son whom he hath received. Now, I want to get these two words right here. I want to get these words. So, chastening. So, chasteneth, it says, to discipline, correct, or instruct through punishment or affliction for the purpose of moral or spiritual improvement. You see that? That's the point. It says to put you through punishment or affliction for the purpose of moral or spiritual improvement. It signifies a loving, fatherly correction from God to help believers align their lives with his will. That's why I say, instead of crying and murmuring, we're supposed to be asking, what am I supposed to learn from this? Even if you are crying, like, you know, because recently I've had to cry a couple times. Man, sometimes, man, we go through things that we feel like we just can't bear it, man. And that's normal, man. We go through the same thing. The students, the teachers and the students go through the same things alike, man. Don't let nobody fool you. Your favorite teacher going to get his ass toe up. This is what makes him a leader in the community. This is what makes him a teacher, because he's enduring all these things he's going through and he's actually learning and building on it. So it also says, rather than a harsh punishment for sin, it says Jesus Christ already atoned for all sins. It says the discipline and training, expressive love, correction and improvement, not punishment for sin, means of chastening. Right, and it tell us in Proverbs chapter 3 also about not despising the chastening of the Lord. So that means that it's wisdom. It's wise not to despise the chastening of the Lord. Proverbs 3:11. It is wise not to despise the chastening of the Lord. This is what's gonna help you grow. This is what's gonna make you better. Ain't nothing else gonna work, man. So when you keep going, it says, oh, I can get scourgeth. That's what the other word I was gonna get. Scourgeth. It says to whip or punish severely. You see that? It says to whip or punish severely. So that Edomite walked by, he heard that shit. He had to look back and see who was saying it. See, when they hear, believe it or not, when Edomites, I'm gonna say Edomites, not heathens. When Edomites hear whipping, punishing like that, when they hear whipping, they hear whips and shit, it puts them in a frenzy because they know that's what they did. And they have to see who the fuck is saying this. It gets they gets their ears, it gets their attention, because they trying to bury all that ass whooping that they gave us, and they can't. They trying to bury it, and it ain't going no fucking where. It's way too bad for you to bury. You can't hide something like that. This is what a term we addressing the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is, okay, black people act ignorant, they yelling in public, domestic violence, gang violence, all this extra stupid ass shit. Yeah, but like, why? Like, we know their history. We see they are a peaceable people. We see they love. We see that they the trendsetters. They create everything. So where the fuck did this stem from? And their name is written all over it. They beat the hell out of us, man. Their name is written all over it, and they can't run from it. Hey, and even that right there, we're supposed to be learning from that. What do we learn from that? Instead of getting mad and complaining and just wanting to get your lick back, we have to understand first is, okay, these people are our enemies. These people that do stuff like that has to be your enemies. These people are our enemies. That's what the Most High want us to learn from this. They are the chief adversary. Adversary just means enemy. They are the chief enemy. Chief enemy. Understand that, man. Don't ever forget that, man. Because in times we're coming up in, like Trump, setting up this 1,700 National Guard soldiers in 19 different states, man. This nigga is setting up shop. Bro, he about to move in. It's written all in the Bible. That's how close we are. They understand that they about to have to get violent with us, man. They understand this. And then Chicago, it's all over TikTok. These little Chicago YNs, they doing video talking about we ain't scared of Trump. We ain't scared of Trump. So it's about to get crazy. And they're gonna justify using that to come after all the Israelites. Right? Coming into all of the north side Tulsa, south side Atlanta, Watts, California, Jacksonville, Florida. They're gonna be coming into Jake's areas in these states. All because of probably what Chicago. I'm just guesstimating it, but you get it. So let me finish off this scripture. Because he also says, we read with scourge, it means like beat with a whip. So I'm gonna read it again. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. Remember, he put you through severe suffering. It says, and scourgeth every son whom he received. That's crazy. And that's strange to the world, but it clearly tells you right here, the Most High receives people that he puts through a lot of shit. But in the world, man perceives it as when you're going through a lot of shit, the Most High God ain't dealing with you. That's not the truth, man. The only truth of that fact of that is if you're not learning nothing from it, then it's punishment. Then you can look at it as punishment because you're not learning anything from it. And obviously the Lord don't want you to learn anything from it. He don't want you to learn nothing from it. And we see that, man. We see everything the Lord is showing us in the scriptures. We see it playing out. We see it play out in nature, man. So it says, if ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. So that cleared it up right there. When you endure this chastening, then the Most High dealing with you like a son. Then you got to know certain missions he put you on. Like you might have to go to jail. And the Most High wants you to teach somebody inside of jail. That's the mentality we got to have when we dealing with the Most High as with sons. We got to understand, like, bro, everything ain't for your downfall. Everything ain't to destroy you. So, a lot of the times it's to build you up. Sometimes we are getting punished for our sins, though. Don't ever, and I be trying to tell brothers that too. I want brothers and sisters to understand this right here. Everything isn't chastisement. Everything isn't chastisement. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that shit, but everything ain't chastisement, bro. Some of this stuff we do is punishment. Some of it is punishment. The Most High said that he was going to punish us in measure, roughly paraphrasing. But some of it is punishment. So we got to look at it, what am I supposed to learn from this? What do I learn from this situation? And you ask the Most High, talk to the Most High, man. One thing about the Most High is he'll talk back. And he will talk back. And I was like, that's through actually showing you or not. Because sometimes the Most High God is silent. Like you will ask for something and the Most High God is silent. Well, that's your answer. That is your answer right there. He didn't want to tell you. Or when he don't answer you, just like our parents, the answer is no. Right? So when you keep going, if ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? And it's a scripture that's in Wisdom of Solomon, I believe it is. No, I think it's in Sirach. I think it is in Wisdom of Solomon. No, it's in Maccabees, where it tells you that the Most High God forbeareth punishing, like he punishes us immediately. But he let the sins of the heathen build up, and he punished them all at once. But he tell you in Jeremiah chapter 30 and 11 that he punished us in measure. He judges us in measure. But the heathen, they're gonna get their ultimate judgment. And we're gonna see if they're gonna be able to endure what we've been enduring this whole time. Straight up. So Khan, man, let me see. So verse 8. And if ye be without chastisement, we just read what chastisement is. If you be without chastisement, whereof of all partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. See that? If you ain't going through shit in your life, everything is going your way, then you a bastard, man. The Most High ain't dealing with you. That's another sign. That's two signs right there to show the Most High ain't dealing with you, man. When you can't take on the affliction that he brings towards you, or is you not going through shit at all, right? That's when you know the Most High ain't dealing with you. Matter of fact, let me see. It's a scripture in Maccabees. Right, so Second Maccabees chapter 6. I'm gonna just get the point. Second Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities. See that? The things that we had to go through since the beginning of time all the way up until 2025. You see the Israelites just getting judged left and right and left and right. We always going through something. We always got to suffer through something. All right, we're not supposed to get discouraged at that because, this ain't do nothing but make us even better people. We are great people. We are a great nation. It says, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction. See that? That's all we're supposed to say. What am I learning from this? But for a chastening of our nation. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but for with punishment, punished. For not as with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. See that? The Most High punish us right then and there and get it out the way, so it won't get so bad. But the heathen, nah, he let they shit stack up, and he rained judgment on their ass. Straight up. And so Sodom and Gomorrah is one of them. Hey, America's about to be one of them. Bro, those nukes coming from all different. Bro, I'm convinced that there are submarines surrounding the Atlantic Ocean, that's in the Atlantic Ocean surrounding America right now, and they ready to just let this place. They ready to level this place. Straight up. Like, go do the research on the Trident II missiles that America got. Russia, China, they got better missiles than that. They got hypersonic, supersonic ballistic missiles. America does too, but nah, man, I didn't see some stuff looking into that, dealing with those ICBM missiles, man, that China and Russia got. And that's why they are prideful enough to not be afraid of America anymore. They're not afraid of America no more, man. Simply because of the shit that they got too. Straight up. So Khan, man, that's all I have for now. That is all I had. Lord willing, you was edified, even if it's just a little bit, man. It's just going over how the pain and suffering that we go through on a daily basis is supposed to bring forth wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. XP. Having experience, this is what makes a man, an elderly man, so valuable, is because he took that experience and he let it carve him into be a hoary head legend, so to speak. He took that and he grew by it. He didn't let it destroy him. We see a lot of our elders, man. They walk around this motherfucker socks all the way up to their knees, no shoestrings in their shoes, different colors on, a damn American flag hat, and they just walk around this motherfucker looking bad, man. That's because they let all this chastisement destroy them. At the end of the day, they didn't build on it. They didn't let it, carve them into a better man, right? And that's what we're supposed to be doing. This is what makes us a great nation again. So, with that, until next time, man, I say shalom.